In 2010, South Africa made history, the first African nation to host the FIFA World Cup. The stadiums were full, the nation proudly lit in color, and the world watched. But behind the fanfare, a different story was unfolding. Questions about how contracts were awarded, who profited, and whether the tender processes that built those stadiums and supported the tournament were above board. This film follows the paper trail, the court records, and the reporting that raised red flags. We'll hear from whistleblowers, review public reports and court documents, and lay out what the evidence shows and what remains unresolved. Hosting the World Cup required tens of billions of rands in new infrastructure. These can be stadiums, transportation upgrades, security, and hospitality services. The spending created opportunities and temptations. In the years after the World Cup, South African regulators, investigative journalists, and international prosecutors began identifying problems ranging from collusion among construction firms to controversial payments tied to FIFA officials. Perhaps the clearest documented case of the wrongdoing involved the stadium construction. In the years after the tournament, South Africa's Competition Commission found evidence of collusion among major construction firms that rigged tender processes for World Cup stadiums and related projects. The Competition Commission's investigations led to multi-billion rand settlements and fines and implicated a series of construction companies in anti-competitive behavior. The Commission described patterns of coordinated bids and market allocation that advantage specific parties. This type of collusion is damaging because it undermines price competition, raises taxpayer costs, and locks out fair bidders. When companies collude, tenders look like competition on the surface, but outcomes are predetermined. The consequence: inflated costs and poorly enforced accountability. Separately, international investigations and reporting identified a controversial $10 million payment connected to the 2010 hosting process. Investigators and international reporting alleged a payment was arranged through FIFA channels that benefited Jack Warner, a powerful CONCACAF official, which had also been approved by Bheki Cele. Yet, South African officials have denied it was a bribe.
I have, in these circumstances, decided that I will no longer keep secrets for them who now seek to actively destroy the country in which I live. I have, in these circumstances, decided that I will no longer keep secrets for those persons who now seek to actively destroy this country's hard-won international image, this country's fate, and the fate that the constituents reposed in me. And at the age of 72 years old, I have no intention of allowing them to deprive me of my freedom. I also wish to say to you tonight that I reasonably and surely fear for my life. I have, as promised, compiled a comprehensive and detailed series of documents, including checks and corroborated statements, and have placed them in different and respected hands.
FIFA and related parties later acknowledged the payment in various procedural documents, while South African ministers insisted the funds were for a diaspora program, and Swiss investigations examined the payment as part of a wider probe into FIFA corruption.
Doesn't want to talk about the missing millions, but our investigation has uncovered this. Detailed information that reveals for the first time where every dollar of the FIFA money was spent and moved around.
The $10 million story sits at the intersection of football politics and state diplomacy. The facts we can trace are payments and invoices disclosed in legal proceedings. The contested questions is intense. Some of the most revealing material comes from the court's records and government reports. In mid-2010, a judge ordered certain lock contracts and related documents to be disclosed, shedding light on previously secret agreements between FIFA and South African partners. A formal public protector investigation also examined procurement irregularities, detailing gaps in oversight and recommendations for combating fraud and corruption in public procurement. When contracts are kept a secret or when procurement rules are waived or weakly enforced, the opportunity for abuse grows. The Public Protector's report highlighted exactly those vulnerabilities. Here's what the public record supports. Construction cartel and collusion among builders, proven by Competition Commission investigations, fines, and settlements. The controversial $10 million payment involving FIFA channels, documented payments and reporting exists. Intent bribe versus legitimate payment is disputed and has been subject to international probe. The court ordered disclosure of some lock or FIFA contracts. Judges forced public scrutiny of agreements previously kept secret. The Public Protector and government reports laid out procurement weaknesses and recommended reforms. And here's what remains uncertain or contested. Whether specific senior officials acted criminally in relation to the $10 million payment, whether all implicated parties were charged, and the full scale of any misappropriation beyond the documented collusion in construction tenders.
There was no request, formal or otherwise, for assistance with any investigation, which would have come in the form of a request for a mutual legal assistance. So any report that the Department of Justice, as the central authority on such matters, has received a request from the United States FBI is inaccurate.
The 2010 World Cup left a complex legacy. A moment of continental pride and a set of unresolved questions about the transparency and accountability. Regulators proved collusion in construction tenders and other payments were documented and remain contested. The lessons are clear. Large-scale, high-profile events demand extraordinary transparency, and when oversight fails, taxpayers ultimately pay the price.
FIFA deducted $20 million of the $100 paid to SAFA to host the 2010 World Cup. $10 million went to the construction of SAFA House and $10 million to the development in CONCACAF. Former FIFA Vice President Jack Warner was the president of the Confederation at the time. It is still unclear whether Jordan actually made it to Zurich for the FIFA Congress, but he has gone on record as saying he didn't pay any bribes to host the World Cup.
Y'all let me know what you think of this down in the comments. My name is Jay, and this is Moment in Future, pulling you into the truth.